Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th seat. It is November 25th, 2022, day 55 of 75 hard for me. I ran a total of 3 miles. I sprinted a mile in 6 minutes and 50 seconds today. Set that timer for 7 minutes and beat it by a whopping 10. And it's a good day. I had a coughing fit, but still got it done. And then I did 2 more miles at just a nice pace. It may have been 2 1/4, but it's right around that 2 mile mark. So hanging out, doing all that good stuff. It was 53 degrees at 2:30 when I did my run, and I've got a few minutes to finish recording this before the sun sets, and we're officially in Shabbat territory. So I'm going to try and speed through some of this. So I did my photo, my gallon. Let's see, I weighed 200 pounds even this morning. So gained, pound and 6/10, so pound and a half, give or take, for Thanksgiving. And I think that's okay, especially when a bowel movement may be the difference between that for me. Breakfast, pancakes and some leftover Greek yogurt that my son didn't finish. For lunch, I had deer chili, green beans. I had a little bit of mashed potatoes and chicken, and then a little homemade roll or whatever that my son didn't finish on the mashed potatoes, chicken, and homemade roll. Probably having leftovers tonight, so I'm having visions of Ross from Friends. Did you eat my sandwich? Since day after Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. I also walked and stretched this morning. Like I said, I did my mile, 6 minutes and 50 seconds, and then did another 2 1/4, give or take, at just a decent pace after that. So, sorry, I'm trying to move around so I don't have all these shadows on my face, and I think it's just getting worse one way or the other. Acts 2 through 11 today, and then Jordan Peterson's 12 More Rules for Life Beyond Order. So I've been going through the last little bit, and I'm through the first 3 in this book, and that was don't carelessly denigrate social institutions or creative achievements. Thinking on that one. So obviously there's that whole thing in the news where these climate protesters who are like really young college kids, and it's not like I'm that far removed from a really young college kid, but I'm also like, more established, because we're getting, I graduated high school like 10 years ago and change, actually more than that now, like 10 and a half years ago. So definitely got some years on some of these young kids that are climate protesting, but it's not like I have, 30 years on them or anything by any means. And not that I don't want our world to be a nice place. It's not that, if you make a mess, you should clean it up, 100%. But I'm also talking to you guys on a sideways iPhone. And by doing that, I've got lithium and cobalt and nickel in there, and that was slave labor, plain and simple, slave labor that got that. And that's something that I think is a bigger problem, in all honesty. I think is a much bigger problem than the fact that the climate is changing. Now, debatable how much it's changing and how fast. Not really up to me, but I would argue that I think we should look for practices that are making human life better, and not, hey, we want to switch to electrical that is run by a coal plant. That really, the narrative that we're getting is not the full narrative. I can tell you that right now. I would much rather run oil and coal. Arguably, I'd love to go nuclear, but they don't do anything to stop all the strip mining that's done by literally child slaves. And so that's something that is not okay with me. So, I also don't want to carelessly denigrate the social institutions that we do have. just because I'm accusing somebody of, being these climate protesters like the ones that are throwing, Campbell's soup on artwork, or, gluing their hands to the floors of these buildings. I don't like what they're doing, but I also don't want to criticize the institutions that we have, because arguably today we have, much better lives for a whole lot more people than even 50 years ago. So, I would say arguably it is getting better, but it's not a situation where we're going to be there tomorrow either. So, and then imagine who you could be, and then aim at that imagine who you could be, and then aim at that singular point. So, who do I want to be? I want to be a good husband, a good father. I want to provide for my family. I want to not be tied to systems that I don't like. Arguably, I don't want to be tied to systems that involve slavery. So that involves American manufacturing, or manufacturing in countries that are, wholeheartedly against using those things. I want to be someone who is dependable. When somebody needs something, I want them to call me, because I want to be operating from a position of strength. And most importantly, I want to be somebody who is wholeheartedly sold out to my Messiah and wholeheartedly sold out to the Father. So that, to me, is something that is at the forefront. And so I need to singularly pursue that. And then don't hide unwanted things in the fog. So putting that in plain English to me is, I'm going to rephrase that. Deal with problems as they come up. I think that's an easier way to think about that rule. When strife comes up in marriage, acknowledge it, bring it to the forefront. Hey, let's talk about this. Okay, this second's not the best time. Let's schedule a good time to talk about this when we're both coming at it with cooler heads. Business, same thing. Hey, there's a problem. And not just identify problems, but propose real solutions. Same thing in marriage. And in real life, doing the exact same thing. Hey, this is bothering me, or this is not good, and there needs to be something done about this. So, easy point, because this is something that is on the forefront of my mind. Like I was 240 pounds, and that problem could have been put off, or that problem could have been dealt with, and arguably it should have been dealt with a lot sooner. But I'm less than 240 pounds now. Don't want to go back to that territory at all. And it's not that I don't necessarily need to lose any more weight. It's just I've got some fat around my midsection that I would still like to lose. So that is something that we need to deal with, that problem, and not just put it off. I need to imagine who I could be and pursue that. I would like to be in even better shape than I am now. Pursue that. Cool. The other just tidbit in this one that I thought of, and I need to hurry up because it's about sunset, but the other tidbit that I thought about in this one is that I am just as responsible for the things that I don't do as the things that I do. And that's hard to chew on, because if I ignore a problem, then essentially I'm responsible in some part for that problem. Case in point, the slavery that is existing, that helps bring us our sideways iPhones. It's part of the problem. Let's think about a solution. Go do hard things.